Nobody drives in LA. June 2026 current events. We met up to record this episode on June 1st, so the day before the election, and of course a lot's going on since then. We're taking a wait-and-see approach, and we'll talk about this more as the results come in. Heads up, we will be recording with Eddie Pollin, who is running for Burbank City Council soon. If you have any questions you'd like to ask a candidate in Burbank, let us know, and we'll pass those along to Eddie. We're going to record later this week. We've started a Patreon, so if you'd like to support us that way, feel free. That'd be great.
Who wants to kick us off today?
Maybe you should talk about how you got here first, because...
We haven't talked about how you've ever gotten here before.
Exactly, yeah.
Like here to this apartment or here to where I am today?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like back in August of 2025, a guy at the bus stop, I was waiting down the Pershing Square station to take the 7:20 bus at 2:30 in the morning. This guy comes over, pulls a gun on me and says, "Hey, you know what this is?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know what that is." And I look in his hands and he's got a water spray bottle and he's waving it around in my face. And he doesn't respond and he gets really confused. And then I notice, oh wait, in his other hand, he's got a gun up against his chest. He meant to pull the gun at me, but I'm losing the voice now. I think he meant to pull the gun at me, but instead pulled the water bottle. And he got really confused because I wasn't reacting.
Right.
And by the time that I realized that his other hand was a gun and this was a dangerous situation, it was too late to do anything about it now. So I just kind of let that roll. And then I had a major life crisis, meltdown, breakdown. I moved away from LA. Then I moved back to LA, lived in the warehouse for a month. And then I got this wonderful apartment that is in Pershing Square right now, where we are recording.
And just feet from where a guy pulled a gun on you.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Full circle.
Yeah,
You're
all
like,
full
I
circle.
love this location.
I mean, it's a great location.
No, yeah.
It's like I'm right above Pershing Square Station, so I can easily get to 7th Metro. I can easily get to Union Station. The bus that I take to EcoSet also picks up right outside of the train station, the 94 and the 90. So this is like perfect location for me. But then I just know better to like not walk around the streets at 2:30 in the morning with a big electric bright skateboard that might attract attention. So as long as I don't do that, I'm fine.
We are grateful you are alive to tell the story today.
Yeah. I was thinking about our gripe episode, and I was like, because, underscoring it all, like, we griped in good faith, but like we're all here, nothing that gripeable happens, because I feel like just because if you ask most Metro haters, why don't you take Metro, they're like, you'll get stabbed. And it's like none of us have gotten stabbed yet. Yeah, knock on wood.
I mean,
The mic's picked that up.
Yeah, I did get gun pulled on me,
right?
Sort of, but
Water
it was just
bottle.
Outside of the bus,
bottle.
though.
Outside of the bus, waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
If the bus was just a little bit faster,
Well, that's why there's a whole episode idea about like bus stop safety, because I think especially getting off of bus, I don't know, I've heard this from women before, like one of the scariest things is when you get off, because the guy that gets off with you might not actually be getting off at that stop because that was his destination, so something to sweat about.
Yeah. Oh, but in lighter news, how I got here today. Technically, I mean, I woke up here, which was great. I've been going to. Comb across my head.
We have to pay rights for that if we just sing it.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully Ringo is cool because it's his birthday, so maybe he'll and Paul's.
Peace and love.
Yeah, peace and love. So I've been going to the LA Boulders climbing gym. I was just up in San Jose on a work trip. I was just up in San Jose for a couple of weeks, and I got a climbing gym membership, which I usually do when I travel. And the same month pass to the climbing gym also has spots all throughout LA in different cities. So I chose one this time that I could use when I got back here, and it's right in my neighborhood. So earlier today, I hopped on the one wheel, went down to LA Boulders, which is on, it's Factory Place in Alameda, so it's like right around 7th and Alameda, 6th and Alameda, something like that.
Factory Place, that's a good name. Evocative.
I guess it's like the industrial district or the arts district, something like that.
Yeah.
But I've been going climbing there quite a bit, and just general workout stuff, which I really like the vibe of this place. And climbing gyms in general that are very, like, they're very chill, the kind of music they play is stuff that I'm into. Like, I've heard math rock at climbing gyms. I've heard like a lot of like anime playlists and just like, trippy lo-fi chill stuff. It's very much the kind of laid back vibe that I like. what I particularly enjoy about this place is a lot of climbing gyms will have a yoga room. And to get to the yoga room at LA Boulders, you have to, at the very least, do a beginner level climb to get on top of the bouldering wall to walk across to it. So you have to work to get your yoga, which I love. That really stupid, like you got to earn it. You don't just get your enlightenment. So I've very much been enjoying that place. And so I took the bike path down on 3rd Street over to Alameda and then across to 7th. You could go down 7th or 6th, but it takes you by some really like crowded parts of Skid Row that like it's maybe not good to be on a bike, or at the very least for me, like given the story about the gun pole thing before, I don't necessarily like to be standing around in that kind of situation. So I go through 3rd Street instead of 6th and 7th.
Right.
It takes you right by, on a lighter note though, it does take you by the Midnight Mission, which is a place that, feeds folks that are living on the street. And it's one of the places that I donate a lot of food from film sets to. But it's definitely different if you go in there with a car or if you go directly inside the place. Like if you go by, you'll usually see like a bunch of people camped out outside of it. So, but I'll go the long way around that way. And it was great. One of the more things that I love about downtown is just like how easy it is to get around to places.
Well,
and
we're recording. I don't know when this will be released, but tomorrow is election day, and then we'll find out that Spencer Pratt is our new mayor, and then he will round up all those people and put them in a camp. He'll concentrate them in a camp somewhere else. That's his solution.
At least transit will be free tomorrow. Silver lining.
So you won't have to worry about going down 6th Street or 7th Street.
Great. And I heard that his main transit plan is to just make everything Art Deco style.
Oh, cool. Make it sexy. I don't know. I've heard, I'll just admit, I worked at Amoeba and I sold DVDs. I don't ever remember The Hill. I don't remember The Hills. Like, I feel like it was a millennial show, but I don't think any like Gen Alpha or Gen Zers know what it is. I don't think any Gen X people, but the way they talk about it in the media is like, oh, it's that lovable villain from The Hills. And I'm like, what? The Hills? What is that?
Yeah, I am firmly millennial and I've never heard of it or
okay.
him.
So, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels like we're talking, the way they talk about him is like, everybody remembers this guy. And I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. But I have very little awareness of him, but I did see a clip of him talking, and he was like, we're going to have bikes in the sky. And he didn't clarify what that meant, but he was just like, it's going to be so great. The trains are going to be fast. The bikes are going to be in the sky. And I was like, bikes in the sky? Gondola? I don't know. Pedal-powered gondola? I really don't know. I think he just, he's tapping into people's frustrations and then just promising stuff, and you don't have to actually have a plan. You just say stuff, and people are like, oh, that sounds good. I mean, this is what I always say about most politicians is like, you say like, what are you going to do for the city? And it's like, well, first of all, I love LA. I'm a proud son of immigrants, or I'm a proud transplant, or whatever. You're proud of whatever. And then you say, I'm for like of making it easier to live here and for better schools and safer streets. And you're like, that sounds good.
And then, you just really got him with, let's go Dodgers!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love, Bob Dole famously had that. They asked him what his favorite team was, and he said the Brooklyn Dodgers. And they're like, this guy really is old.
Ivy, how'd you get here today?
So, this morning I was actually all over the place, all around town today, because in the morning I stopped by the lab to do some stuff real quick. And then I, like you, Kyle, also did a workout today. I went to Kinergy on the way since I knew I was coming east. So after Kinergy, my studio, I went to... Or actually, no. I stayed in the area in West Hollywood for a little bit to do some work, and then I went down to Chinatown because I wanted to pick up some fruits to bring to my class tomorrow. At the end of the quarter, every time I teach my seminar in the spring, I host a little mini conference for the students to present their research projects on the last day, which is tomorrow, and I try to bring plant-based snacks and fruit for them. So I went to Chinatown with my parents the weekend of the D-Line extension opening when everything was free, because we haven't been to Chinatown in a long time. I went a lot growing up with my mom and grandma growing up, because they would love going to like the temples and stuff down there. But I don't know, like I've heard a lot in recent years about how Chinatown in LA is kind of dying really sadly, and I was
struggling.
It's struggling.
There are no markets left anymore.
Yeah, or no big ones. At least.
Yeah. There's little places. When I went through recently, I was like, okay, there's like the ginseng cellar.
Yeah, and the jewelry and stuff. But yeah, so I was like, if I can go support a local business or something, a community like that for my class, I would love to. So I picked up some fruits and some snacks, and then I took the 81 to Kyle's apartment, which was in the direction of Harbor Freeway Station, I think. It was my first time taking it, so yeah.
And what fruits are we talking?
I have a bunch of berries, some oranges.
Okay.
What else did I?
When I went to Chinatown in Honolulu, I remember I was like, oh, I don't know what some of these are, and I don't know if it's more of a Chinese thing or a Hawaiian thing.
Like kumquats or like random.
No, I mean, I know kumquats. I don't. There was like, is it rambutan? The one?
Yes.
Yes. Looks like I don't know.
And
what
mangosteen and lychee, longan, bunch of the. Yeah.
I just found out recently that kiwis are originally from China, and they were called Chinese gooseberries because they do kind of look like a goose egg, or size-wise, a little small. But then people were like, it was actually downtown. It was someone that had a place in the produce district, an importer, that was like, we need to rebrand these because people aren't into Chinese stuff, so let's call them kiwis. And they took off.
Oh, interesting.
But I was like, let's erase the Chineseness origins of these.
So what is you were talking about like Chinatown having, I guess, sort of like a downturn now. Like what was Chinatown like before? Like that was the perception that it was.
Okay, so I was trying to distinguish if it was because it's the difference between me being small and me being a grown adult, or like changes over time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But at least when I remember going when I was little, like there were a lot of people at the temples. There was we would always be like buying like bakery items and like whatever to bring to the temple, and like there's a lot of people running around everywhere. And I don't know. I mean, luckily it seemed like there were actually like a lot of people today on a weekday afternoon, so I was happy about that. Other people were buying groceries there as well. So I have hope.
I would say one of the things that I've noticed is that there used to be 4 at least pretty big like Chinese supermarkets there, and then when a Walmart like mini supermarket opened against some neighborhood opposition, but I do remember there were some people that were like, yeah, but we need a market like that because the only stuff they have in the Chinese markets is weird. And I was like, you live in Chinatown, so that, I mean, that's like a changing demographic. It's like, well, I like the Chinese aesthetics. I don't want to go into a market that smells like ginseng,
That's
or dirt,
offensive.
So they opened that Walmart market, and then the Walmart market closed and went away, and it was like, oh, but now all the big Chinese markets are gone too. And so, and there I'm like, I don't know, you can't tell non-Chinese restaurants, like you can't come in, but a lot of the big old established places like Empress Pavilion, I think, is gone, and some of it's changing culture. I feel like people just like, or people move. I think at a certain point, like a longer time ago, Chinatown used to be more people from China, southern China mostly, like Fujian and Guangzhou and stuff. But then, when people started to move out to the San Gabriel Valley and stuff, then you started to get lots of ethnically Chinese refugees from Cambodia and Vietnam coming in after the Immigration Act. And so I think the character changed, but I don't know. I hope they find a way. And just the rents go up, and we have very good renter protections overall. Although I think Kenneth Mejia audited like the worst landlords, the ones with the most complaints and citations against them, and I think the worst one was in Chinatown. So
that's so sad.
Shady landlords and like unfair, just not a lot of like business protections. You could end up getting a Chinatown where you're like, oh look, there's a pagoda and a dragon but you're like, there's no Chinese restaurants, no Chinese people, no Chinese. It used to be, but at the same time, things changed. That used to be Little Italy until the 1930s when they destroyed the original Chinatown so they could build Union Station, and then they destroyed the rest of old Chinatown so they could build the 101 freeway, and then they said, Chinese people, you can move over here now. So. Yeah.
Wow.
So it had like an opening day. 1938 is when new Chinatown Plaza opened. That was a Chinese-led one. And then there was China City, which was the white woman that kind of created Olvera Street, was like, this is my Chinese thing. And then that one burned down.
Oh, so Eric, also, can you talk about like another like local history term defined kind of thing? Can you talk about Olvera Street? Because you've mentioned Olvera Street quite a bit, and I don't actually know what that is.
Olvera Street, or Placita Olvera, is it's a touristy kind of area, and I think a lot of people kind of write it off as like, oh, this is sort of except it's pre-Disney, but Disneyfied, like Mexican shopping area. It's where Cielito Lindo is, and there's like this one gift shop where I just remember there's a melted old candle. The first celebrity sighting I ever had in Los Angeles was in Olvera Street. Because I heard George Takei's voice, because he was like, "Would you like me to stand like this?" And he was like, and I turned around, and he's like posing with this donkey not a real donkey, but a donkey that just got evicted actually from Olvera Street, along with the owners of it. It's like a little Mexican shopping district, and it was basically just like any other, it was an old part of Los Angeles. It's right north of Plaza. Sorry, sister texting about her cat. I thought I turned that silent.
Destroy him.
What was I saying? So it was basically just, it was an old street north of the Plaza de Los Angeles, and then they were like, we need to kind of revive this area. So in 1928, this woman, Christine Sterling, was like, we'll have like a little Mexican area here, and we'll here's what my idea of a Mexican street looks like. But I have to say, most of the people that I see going there are Mexican American. Most of the people that work there are Mexican American. So it was her kind of fantasy idea of it. And then after that and it was basically the main thing was just saying, the way we're going to do this is by saying no more vehicular traffic on this street, no more cars, no more street parking here. So in 1928 or 29, they got rid of street parking, and they got rid of cars passing through there, and then put little booths up, and then it's like a charming little kitschy. It's just west of Union Station. If you ever just cross the street and go up the hill, you'll see it. And then after that was successful, she was like, now I'm going to do a Chinese one, because they were going to tear down Chinatown to make Union Station. So she's like, oh, the Italians are moving out of Little Italy, so I'll, build China City over here.
Well, after my excursion in Chinatown, when I got off at Pershing Square, I saw Eric across the road and then waved at him and then asked if he rode his bike, and I guess he didn't. But he said he was going to save the story for now, so.
No, I rode my bike to work, and then work was very busy, and I decided it's too hot and I'm too tired to ride my bike. So then what do you do as a multimodal person? I took the 4 to the Beeline, and no issues. And then that was fine, because I'll just go. So I was at work, and I'll just go back and get it on the way home. I'll take whatever bus to get it, and then ride home, because it's very flat. I was like, it'd be easy to ride my bike down here, because it's all downhill to downtown from Silver Lake. But then I was like, but then I do have to ride back.
What's your Silver Lake route getting here? Are you taking the river path? Where are you going?
No, normally. Sometimes I take the river path, because it is especially at night. Honestly, especially if I've had a few drinks, it's so pleasant to just like go up along the river, and you're listening to music,
and you hear the frogs.
It's so nice. But a lot of times I'll do Sunset, because it has painted bike lanes. Usually Sunset's my way to downtown, between downtown and Silver Lake. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But no issues. I did see 2 of the, when I got to Vermont Santa Monica Station, I was like, oh, there's one of those old freestanding restrooms that predates the Thrones, and it's all covered in graffiti and fenced off. And I'm like, what happened to those? And then I was like, wait, I remember Maylin, friend of the show, Maylin, asking if I knew what happened to those. And then when I got off at Pershing Square, there's one by your building. Yeah. And it looks very similar,
it looks very
graffitied
cool
and fenced off, and then, but inaccessible if you need to use it. And then I was like, what? Yeah, whatever. So I looked it up, and the only thing I could find was an article that Maylin ended up writing about it. I was like, but I guess those were just put in by JC Decaux, who was the company that did the self-cleaning restrooms before Transito, Vector, whatever, whoever does Thrones, and then. They just cut the funding for them last, but we do have more public restrooms than we had a year ago. But but at the same time, there's like 15 that are just sitting tagged and fenced off. And I was just thinking like, wow, the World Cup's in like a few weeks, right? Or not even that. It's like it starts on June 11th, I think. So I'm like, lost opportunity to, I don't know. Maybe we could have like had countries sponsor those and then be like, oh, this is the Brazil station and it's got the flag on it, although I guess the Brazilian flag has.
So is this a good time to transition into current events?
Yes, we talked about some of history. That actually worked out really well.
Well, here are the topics that I was thinking about. The new longer D. The North Hollywood to Pasadena bus rapid transit line, which I think is that's a mouthful. I say we should start calling it the Valley to Valley BRT because it's from San Fernando Valley to the San Gabriel Valley, or San Gabriel Valley to the San Fernando Valley, or the V line. But the Vermont lines. I was also making this joke with Nick Caputo. I was just like, there's going to be like the Vermont line, the Verdugo line is originally what they were calling the BRT line. And then there's the Valley line, which is the train extension in the San Fernando Valley. So I was like, we're just going to call them all V lines from now on. V1, V2, V3. It'll look like Roman numerals. You'll have to figure it out. Like, okay, so this is 7. Okay. Anyway, so the BRT, there's LA River Bike Path news, and contactless tap to pay.
Oh. Yes.
Which maybe we could start with that because I did it today.
All right, tell me about it.
So it's funny because I saw that Alyssa Walker posted it, I think on Torch, to like, oh, you can just tap your credit card now. You don't have to load a tap app on your phone. And it's funny because I was kind of thinking like, yeah, but who cares? Who needs that? Like, I mean, whatever.
The tap app is so bad.
But then as I was taking the bus here, I was like, oh, that's right. My tap card, it says, is assigned to a different phone, and it won't allow me to. And then it's like, do you want to add the other tap to this phone? I'm like, I don't have that tap on me physically.
But then it deactivates it when you add it to your phone because you can't have it in 2 places.
So I took $2 out. I was like, I might just have to do this cash. And then I was like, oh, or maybe I can tap my phone and it will take it out of my bank and it did. I just tapped my phone and I was like, okay, that was pretty easy.
That's awesome. That's awesome that it already works because my good friend Abby, who works for MasterCard, she works in DC, but she's from California. She asked me to be a part of her pilot study because they're doing something where it's like MasterCard is trying to figure out something for transit riders in LA, and she thought of me, and I was like, oh, cool. I don't know what this is going to be about if it already works.
Yeah. It worked. Yeah. It worked, and then I tapped it to exit the station, and it was like 0 charged, because it was a transfer, and so it knew that it was. So you don't have to it knows that you transferred. I don't know. It's crazy. Welcome to 1995.
Is this just phones, or is this also?
You can tap your card. You can tap your physical card, is what I understand. But my bank doesn't have tappable credit cards. You have to swipe it or insert the chip. So I was like, I'm just going to tap the phone and hope that it worked, and it did.
I would go up into the Bay Area, and when I would just wander around, I would take BART into the city or take Caltrain into the city, and then Muni around. My go-to Bay Area day off trip is to Caltrain in, take Muni out to, I think it's the T line. No, not the T line. It's the Ocean/Judah line. Take that all the way out to
end.
The end?
I think. I took something that went to Ocean Beach, Ocean City.
Ocean Beach.
Beach. Okay, end.
Yeah. I think it's the end. It's the end Judah line.
Yeah.
That's it. So I take that all the way out to the end, and that's where the PCH Highway Park is. That was just turned from a highway into a park. So I'll go down.
And it's still a park? Because I know there was some pushback.
There's always pushback.
Exactly. People are like, where am I going to park?
Yeah, I remember hearing people, actually, when that first opened up, I did this, same usual day where I'll take the train down to the beach, then run the beach, run the park. I actually wandered around the tide pools for a little bit, took a couple of photos, then I did, there's this little coffee shop that's right by the Ocean Beach station. So I got a bagel, got a coffee, and I was just sketching and painting one of the pictures that I took at the tide pools. But because I'm a huge nerd, I thought this looks like a very boring picture by itself. So then I drew in Ultros, who's this little villainous octopus from Final Fantasy VI. Okay. So I drew in the Ultros sprite into this little tide pool. It's like, oh, he's an octopus. He would be there. in-game octopus usually shows up at like the Opera House and weird places like that. But while I was there, though, I heard a bunch of NIMBYs talking about, this is gonna ruin my commute because now I gotta go 2 blocks over and it's slower. Meanwhile, I was at this park for a good 6 hours and there was no traffic during any of those times, which would have hit one. And obviously, there would be no traffic because it was closed off to cars. But on the streets surrounding the PCH park, it was no more clogged than it was beforehand. So, but people were just like so mad that they had to go 2 blocks over instead of cutting right up here. Meanwhile, like, oh, there's people running, there's people biking. Like,
that's awesome.
It's quite a view to be at this place.
Well, they used to have a freeway right along the water in San Francisco too, and then an earthquake got rid of that, and then they were like, it's going to ruin traffic in a Scranton accent. And then it didn't. And people were like, it's kind of nice not having a freeway right
to the
next
middle
to the
of our
water.
neighborhood. Yeah. So, but on that though, I didn't have a Muni card or whatever. Oh, geez, what is it? It's a Muni, a Vesper. Clipper. That's
Clipper
right.
card.
I didn't have a Clipper card, but then wait, I could just tap my bank card to get on the
I think in the U.S. they rolled
easy.
it out first in the Bay Area and New York because they were just like, these are 2 high ridership areas.
Yeah.
But I did look it up, and contactless tap to pay was first introduced in Seoul, of course, in 1995.
Wow.
Wow. Before there were even smartphones. It was like, you just tap your credit card. And I'm like, okay, sometimes we're getting there.
Wow.
We're number 1. But this was my pushback. This is my devil's advocate. And okay, so I don't know if either of you have ever seen, but in Taiwan, they have these 3D transit cards. And they can look like, what was the name of the octopus guy?
Ultros?
Ultros, yeah. but they have ones that look like Sailor Moon wands and Pokeballs and custard cups and floppy disks. People hang them on their bag.
That's cute.
And just so it's really, there's one like cartoon figure where you like, his butt is plush and you like squeeze him. And I'm like, they're really creative. So I was like, we can still have tapless, but maybe we could also have like fun things that are, for my nerddom, I would want like a Star Trek tricorder or a Twin Peaks owl cave ring or something. Because actually, one of the coolest things I ever had, I think I have talked about this a long time ago on the podcast, but Foothill Transit lent me a ring. I like wearable stuff that you can tap. So it was like a black ring with gold. It looked like gold inside of it. And it was just loaded with unlimited rides.
Unlimited?
So, yeah, because I was writing about their 187 line, and I was like, I'm going to need to get on and off a lot, and how do I not pay transfers every time? And they're like, well, we have this one ring. And I was like,
one ring to rule them all.
Did someone say one ring, my precious? So, yeah. But yeah, it just seems like a fun opportunity to have fun stuff.
So we have LA Metro sells these little key fobs that I'm holding up and jangling right off mic right now. That is like a little, I don't know, it's like pinky-sized little tag you can put on your keys that you can use to tap on and off.
Okay.
A tap card is way too clunky for me, and however my brain works, it is way too much work for me to call my bank to verify tap to pay and Apple
Pay. We had
Pay.
those little ones.
Yeah, you have to buy them at Union Station or at you can buy them from the Big Blue Bus hub in, I think it's 3rd Street? 4th Street in Santa Monica. You can buy them there. And then, you could just load up your tap card on them, tap them like that. I don't know what kind of chip is inside here to allow it, but I'm sure we could crack this open and put it inside a plushy squeeze butt figure.
So and then my other topic was there's just some new bike lanes in Griffith Park and on Pico and on Colima Road in Hacienda Heights. So I don't know if we want to talk about the bike path or the BRT. I figured some of the BRT conversation we'll have with Eddie, because he's running for Burbank City Council, right?
Yeah, Burbank City Council.
And Metro is suing Burbank because they're trying to stop them from building a BRT line through Burbank. Because why would you want
Burbankers are so weird.
Well, that's a good segue to the D-line extension.
Yeah, the new longer D.
Have you taken the new longer D yet, either of you?
Yes.
Yeah, we both took
went.
it opening day, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
at different times. Yeah.
Tell me about it. I was out of town and I missed it. So what did I miss?
Yeah, I want to hear your experiences. Yeah.
I think so. I went. So Eric, you went when it actually opened.
I went early, and I went Yeah, I went to Philippe and got like breakfast. Yeah, I did get breakfast.
Nice.
I'm like, do they have breakfast there, right? Yes.
I went later in the day because I had meetings and things. And
and you were coming from the other direction, right?
Yeah, I came from Westwood with my...
So you started in the Beverly Hills one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I left Westwood with my best friends from my lab around like 4 or something p.m., which was after all the opening stuff was already over. But when we got there were still so many people around. And I think my biggest takeaway from the whole evening was like, LA is so alive right now. And I love that this event is bringing everybody together. Because I don't remember the last time I felt so much like city pride like that.
It did feel so I went with my friend Jackie, and she came on the A-line extension to Pomona, and she was commenting about how different it felt. And I was like, it really does. And I couldn't even necessarily put my finger on it and say like one was better or worse. It was just like, it was a very different feeling taking a subway to Beverly Hills than taking a light rail out to Pomona, you know. On the A-line extension, my experience was it was super crowded. I mean, a lot of people went, which kind of surprised me. But a lot of it was people, I don't know, not that there weren't like transit nerds on D-Day, but on the A-line there were lots I would talk to people and they'd be like, yeah, I took this bus to this train to, like they were coming from really far away. And then but I think this was too, it just felt very different. I think some of it was the branding. I mean, there were so many people wearing Ride the D shirts.
Yeah.
People were chanting Ride the D, Ride the D.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw a lot. I remember on the A-line extension I saw Joe Linton from Street's blog, but on the D-line, I was just like, oh, there's Colin and Andrew from Friends of the Show, and there's Cozy I ran into, and Nick Caputo, and John from Transiting LA, and Serena, who's Fix the City LA, and her baby Olivia. And
You said you saw our Media Lab friend. Right?
Oh, yeah. I saw the woman from the Koreatown Media Lab who signs us in. I was like, oh, there you go. So, yeah, it was just, I was just like recognizing lots of people. And
yeah, I think this opening did a great job of bringing in the regular community who maybe doesn't ride or isn't aware. Because there were a lot of people, because we all know about the merch and the stuff and the branding, but there were a lot of people who came up to me and my friend Soham who were wearing the shirt, and they were like, where did you get that? Like, what?
Yeah.
And then this one woman was like, can I take a picture of you two and put it on my Instagram? We're on some lady's Instagram.
I think it reached, a different type of Angelino than, I'm sure there's more awareness of the D-line extension than there is of the A-line extension.
Sadly,
you know. But yeah.
But
what
the
did you think
stations
of
are
the new
beautiful.
stations?
Yes, great minds think alike. The stations are beautiful.
They really are.
My friend Yoon, who came with us, she is from China, and she said that she didn't feel like she was in LA. So I guess we impressed her.
That's a good thing. This doesn't feel like, well, it's Beverly Hills, so no.
What are we talking about for the new stations? Because I haven't, how are they different compared to the...
They're so big.
They're so big, very deep, multiple levels.
Yeah, cavernous, but also, I don't know, just like when you come down the escalators, just the layout, they all feel like they're I don't know, they all feel kind of like they're a theme.
Yeah, like artsy.
But also they're like themed like each other. Like those 3 stations, the 3 new stations have a lot in common, like the very high ceilings and the way the art is. Like the art is, I'd say the art is integrated into the station a lot more thoroughly than like some of them, you're like, what is the station art here? And it's like, oh, there's a lights, there's something hanging from the roof over the platform or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, there's an airplane or a canister.
I think especially Fairfax is made to look like very museum-esque, so that once you get out, you're ready for all the museums on the road.
But the La Brea one too, I thought was really
That's true,
pretty. Like I was like, which one's my favorite? And I don't know, they're all really pretty. They're all very shiny. And
shiny, glossy.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I was like, oh, it looks great and so different, but I can't pinpoint what it is. And then I realized a lot of the, how like when you're standing on the platform, there's a lot of like thingies in the middle that usually show like the timing or like maps.
They feel way more open.
They removed a lot of those, so it's like you can see the whole thing.
It really does feel cavernous.
And it's so cool.
You want to stand at one end and take a picture. Like, oh, this is such a, and I was like trying to get one train coming in from what, and going out the other way. But what did you think about, like, I mean, so I didn't get out and explore very much. We were like, again, it's always like a freakishly hot day when the train, because I have these ambitions, like we're going to get off at every station and then we're going to explore. And then I'm like, let's just, I don't know how much more I can eat. There's always like free food and music and stuff. My friend Jackie, she won't mind me saying this. She really like put away a lot of food. I was impressed because
Good
I was
for
like,
her. That's awesome.
Actually, when we first got to Union Station, and we saw two guys with giant backpacks, and I was like, I was like, oh, did you like hike here from Germany? Where are you going? Where are you going? And they're like, no, one of them was from San Diego, and I was like, and you came up to see the D-Line opening? And he's like, well, I have family up here too. And I was like, no, it's okay. You came up here to see the D-Line opening, but also your family's here. Yeah, but I was like, why do you have such big backpacks? And they're like, oh, because we're loaded up with like Tupperware and stuff. We're going to get so much free food. And I was like, oh my God. Because I ended up, actually, so I saw Rebecca Castillo and Tom from LA Times 404, and Rebecca had mentioned, she was like, I'm so hungry, and I was like, well, I have this like vegan wrap from Paribas, and then I gave Cozy was like, I love sweets, and blah, blah, and I was like, have this chocolate cake. So I was like getting rid of food because I couldn't eat, and there was like Ethiopian food, there were pupusas, but I couldn't do it because I was so full already. I was like, I had half a Pink's hot dog, but we had such a big breakfast at Philippe. We shouldn't have eaten it breakfast beforehand, but I was like, don't ever eat before you go on the trip.
Yeah, no.
We didn't know for sure that there would be free food at everything like there was on the A-Line. Or like with the A-Line, it was like they would give you a ticket and then you would redeem it at a place. But this was a lot more like you just go up and you're like, because I remember Jackie was like, I think I'm going to skip Pink's. It's fine. And then I turned around and she's like, I'm talking to Cozy. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess she's getting hot dogs. So, yeah. But we didn't get out and look at the amenities very much. But, you know, I do think, like, I know a lot of people are kind of like, who cares about Beverly Hills? But, you know, there are, like, some the Fine Arts Theater, the Saban Theater, the libraries there. Like, everything that I actually like in Beverly Hills is right by that station. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
And then, you know, the one on Museum Row is obviously, like, that's kind of the star because it's, like, Peterson and the Rhea Tar Pits and LACMA and Craft and Folk Art Museum or Craft Contemporary, I guess it is now. Little Ethiopia. We were going to get drinks at Tom Bergen's, but, again, I was too full to even have a beer after all the free stuff. And then you know, so I always say, like, La Brea is my least favorite street in Los Angeles. So, because you have to hate a street, but it's just so big and wide and hostile, and, like, it's a bunch of furniture stores. There's just nothing for me there, you know? But that area, well, Cozy said that there's a Japanese bakery near there that's really good. And I know that the old Firestone tire shop, there's this giant Art Deco tire shop that is now like a food hall or something, or maybe I'm not, or it's a brewery.
Oh yeah, the Firestone.
So that looks really cool.
So
I wish they would do something with the E. Clem Wilson building, the one that has the box on top. For years it was Samsung, but it's like an Art Deco building that was like the tallest building outside of downtown for many years.
So the Firestone Brewery at that spot happens to be, at least in my circle, the quintessential go-to millennial, we're having a birthday party here.
Well, breweries are great for that because you don't have to make reservations and they can accommodate.
But that one in particular, I've had, I think, 4 different birthday parties.
Wow.
All at that same place that people have, like, that I've been invited to.
Is there axe throwing and cornhole? Because that's what millennials love.
So not at Firestone, but there is.
What?
Is
it Instagrammable?
Well, there was this. That you bring up axe throwing at a brewery stands out to me because, and back home in Scranton last time I was there's this cidery that just opened up in the bottom floor of an old vaudeville theater where I used to do art shows when there was nothing inside this place but an antique store. Shout out to my art patron, Ron Wendell, who used to book me all the time. Now, though, there's an ice cream shop, there's restaurants, there's a speakeasy, there's a concert venue, there's a goth bar thing, and there's this nerdy cidery where you can buy ciders, buy meads. They book out rooms for Dungeons and Dragons games. They have punk bands there on the weekend. In particular, they said crowd kill punk shows.
Oh.
And behind the counter...
Crowd kill.
Yeah, there is the axe throwing room.
Okay.
I don't know how alcohol, crowd kill, and axe throwing
I think it's probably...
has not resulted in bloodshed yet. I love it, but it's weird.
I think mead has a hard time shaking off the, like, Ren Fair vibe association. So it's like, it's old-timey, and same with cider in America to an extent, but I had the indigenous people out here they didn't call it mead, but they did make like a fermented honey beverage, the tongva. So, and then the Spanish had it, and they're like, oh, it needs some spices, and so they added stuff to it. So there's like a long ancient history of mead making even out here. Cool. Or tej in little Ethiopia, that's basic. Like honey wine, that's just mead. I'm like, it doesn't have to be about wearing horned helmets and and lusty wenches and cosplay, but it can be that too. Oh, but what I wanted to say about the deal, because I knew, it's mostly like I've been sharing so many on the podcast, like on the Instagram reels of people being like, so I took the D, and it also seems like a lot of people, like a lot of influencers, love them, hate them, or whatever, are making things about riding the D. They're like, I decided to take this train, for the first time. And they're like, not gonna lie, this is my first time taking a metro train, so it wasn't that dangerous.
I've heard that too.
I really feel like it has been a door opener for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I was like, I thought I wanted to talk about the D-line station that didn't get built. That was supposed to.
Which one?
So there was supposed to be one at Wilshire and Crenshaw originally, and they killed that in 2010 because of neighborhood pushback. And if you know that area, so that's the stretch between Miracle Mile on the west and Koreatown on the east. So you get like high-rise buildings over here, high-rise buildings over here, and then in the middle you're like nothing over 6 stories. And that's Park Mile, and that was because there was a Park Mile plan adopted in 1979 that was to preserve the small-town character of the central neighborhood in the second largest city in the U.S. But the stuff written into the Park Mile plan is so bizarrely specific, because I don't even know like what these are dog whistles for, but it's like no ATMs, no Christmas tree lots, no foreign language schools. I'm like, okay, that's just hating foreigners. And so there's this weird little stretch. But I'm like, if they had allowed there to be a station there, you'd be right by the Marciano Foundation, and there's like a nice cathedral there. There's Tenriko Japanese temple there. There's what else? One of the most interesting thing that would be like there's a 2 to 3 minute walk to the mayor's mansion, the Getty House. So basically, the White House of the Los Angeles mayor is right on that block. And I'm like, that would have been so cool if the mayor was like, I really don't have an excuse not to take the train to City Hall because it's 15 minutes and 2 minutes of walking. And that would be so great to have someone, like just to have more politicians on trains. But then I was like, you can't blame the current mayor or it was 2010, so I don't even remember who was mayor then, but was that Garcetti? I don't know. But
Garcetti was definitely 2020.
Oh.
When I remember like
it doesn't seem that long ago, but I guess it is.
I moved out here in 2019, and Garcetti, I remember there was a bunch of stuff with the pandemic going on in 2020, so he would have been mayor that year.
Was it the guy whose last name started with a V?
Oh, it might have been Villaraigosa.
Yeah, I think it was him. My dad would talk about him a lot.
Let's see. Did I write that down? I did not write down, but I did think it was funny because on the board back then was Don Kanabe, who lives in Artesia, Michael Antonovich, who's retired and lives in Glendale. So I'm like, these are suburban guys that don't understand the importance of having a station. Yeah. Margaret Ridley Thomas, who's currently awaiting trial on bribery and fraud charges. Hey! Gloria Molina, who's passed away. And Zev Yaroslawski, who was the one who supported Henry Waxman's ban on tunneling west of Koreatown because it's a methane zone, add echo effect. And he was also the one that in 1998 authored a ballot initiative to not allow tax funding to go towards building subways. But he was at the opening of the D-line extension. And I was just kind of like, what? He has no business being here. But and then I was like, well, he says he was wrong and he had a political, change of mind. But it just sucks that like we rely still so much on Metro board members who are not Metro users.
Yeah. So let's storm Metro. Let's demand that you give the people some seats.
Yeah, give us some seats.
Yeah. This is an aside, but I have to leave in about 10 minutes. If that's
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So anything that we want to do, anything we should do to wrap up?
We can save the BRT, I think. I don't know if we want to talk about...
Let's save the BRT for Eddie.
Want to talk about the bike path real
Sure.
fast?
Let's do
Or
Yeah, tell me about the bike path.
So the LA River Bike Path, there was a motion passed on the 28th of May that is basically moving forward the completion of a single contiguous LA River Bike Path. Because right now it's in 8 sections. I tried to ride it in 2017, I think, and it took me all day to get from just the West Valley to Silver Lake, and I was so frustrated because I kept, like, the trail just keeps ending, and it doesn't really end. You just hit, like, a gate, and you're like, oh, there's a maintenance road, but you can't ride on that. You have to go down to a major street and then ride, and then try to figure out when it picks up again. Right now, the 2 biggest sections are, there's a section through the Glendale Narrows that ends just north of downtown, and then it picks up again around, like, Vernon, south of downtown. So they're finally going to close that, and they're going to close all the little sections in the valley that have gaps. That has a firm deadline of 2027, and it doesn't
that's not
seem
too far
like
away.
yeah. And then they're gonna supposedly the big section is gonna be open by 2028, so that'll be really nice to have a single 51-mile long bike path from the West Valley to Long Beach.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
The LA River Bike Path. My EcoSet ritual has been when I'm on a longer EcoSet job, like multiple days. I'll usually take my bike or take the one wheel up on the first day and keep it there so I can like go get lunch or go whatever. But on my last day of the job, I will celebrate the job being concluded by taking it back down the river bike path
nice.
to here downtown. And on the other days, I'll just take the bus back and forth in between. So that's been like a very nice like closing job ritual for me.
Aw.
I guess this is unrelated to the bike path, but sort of related to that. The other day, when I was working up at the warehouse, I got lunch at Habitat Coffee, which usually is where I'll go when I'm working at the EcoSet warehouse. But I went in and I had this pair of prop cop sunglasses on that we salvaged from a TV show. And so I took these polarized cop sunglasses, and I was wearing my navy blue EcoSet T-shirt. And then the person who took my order was like, "Oh, hey, I applied your discount. Thank you for your service." And I'm like, "What?
Oh, the things you can get for
Did
free
you just
if
roll
you're
with
a
it?
cop.
Yeah, like, yep, great.
Thank you, citizen.
Thank you, citizen. Yeah, today I am Kyle Rebar recycling cop. So yeah, that sounds great.
Drop the compostable.
Yeah, I've heard that. I know another one of my friends from Burbank who I'd love to have on in the future. Dorian, he sometimes bikes from Burbank to Atwater
Wow.
on his e-bike, and he'll take the river bike path down. He's mentioned there's like a couple of like sections or something that he has trouble getting to. I don't know. He can tell us about
Yeah.
it. But
It just ends. You just hit a gate, and you can see that it goes on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll sign a waiver. Like,
Yeah.
I won't sue the city if I get a flat tire because it's a minimum, maintenance road.
Yeah. And I find too that it's weird with the way that the bike path ends where it does right now, that it does kind of, you go over the bridge, it loops you around, then you go by busy street, then you take another bike lane that spits you up by the historic state park, which isn't terrible, but
No,
I kind of
yeah.
just like that to be a little, I don't know, it feels strange.
Yeah.
The way that it goes from there, but
Yeah. Well, should we do transit magic wands? Do we have time?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Do yours first. Unless
okay.
you need time to think about it.
Mine, I thought about it because I had a feeling we were going to do it. My transit magic wand wish is just for everybody to have the same level of transit access as Kyle's apartment.
Yeah.
Like Eric and I got here and we were like, oh my God, this is so
Yeah.
great.
You do have to leave his building and walk on a sidewalk to the station. But because I was like, it'd be cool if there's a tunnel just from like your lobby straight into the station.
I mean, I'll go out there with a little shovel and dig it.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. I'll be the tunneling machine. It'll be
There's
great
probably
workout.
already a tunnel down, like a secret tunnel we just don't know about.
All the smells.
Yeah.
You want to do yours?
Okay, so, well,
I can do mine.
I would like my transit wish list item for today would be for to extend all of the two-way bike lanes in downtown LA to maintain the two-wayness of them
Yes.
beyond the couple of blocks. So there are a couple of streets down this way. One of them that I've been taking going to LA Boulders, which is 3rd Street. when you get to the end of spring, beyond there, it turns into a one-lane bike path, like a one-way. But there's not like there's not a one-way going in the opposite direction. So everyone and I've seen multiple people do this.
So they're just salmoning. You just go against the stream.
Yes, salmon.
Oh gosh.
So we've been salmoning up the 3rd Street.
Nothing bad could happen from that.
Yeah, and it's not just me. Like this happens elsewhere.
Oh,
There's a lot of spaces on the 3rd Street single lane bike lane that have just like these big like painted off, you can't park here with a bunch of bollards in them, or a couple of sections that are you can't park here bollards and then a couple of parking spaces. The space is there. Just paint the second bike lane. Like, great. So easy. But that is what I want. And bouncing off of that, I also want a bike lane on Alameda because Alameda is murder.
Oh yeah,
on
it
a
is.
bike.
Alameda's crazy.
And you can't even cheat on the sidewalks because on one side people are living there, and on the other
right.
side it's just like
It's
people
so
are walking.
wide, and people get so angry if you're not traveling at freeway speeds on this street.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate Alameda too. Not as much as La Brea, but still. Mine is that I want to see those Taiwan-style metro passes, but I want it to be Los Angeles themed in time for the Olympics. Think about it, like a little triforium sculpture, or Roommate the Cat, or an Orange Julius, because that was invented in the Brown Derby. A little Angeline billboard, like in a rectangle, you know. So
That's funny. Kat really wants the old, I think it's Orange Julius, the old like devil chairs that they had back in the day. Because like when their mascot was the cartoon devil.
I don't know if I've actually been in Orange Julius, to be honest.
Apparently these chairs were like very
iconic.
very old.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But they're like pointy, pitchforky devil kind of chairs. She's always wanted one of those, and I just don't know where to find one.
EcoSet, have you tried there?
Probably, yeah.
All right. Well, do we have anything we want to plug?
How about let's just do like big plug. By the time we publish this, we'll have a Patreon open. So if you would like to support us that way, you can subscribe to our Patreon. This is really just if you would like to support us and like the work we do, that's a way for you to do it. We're probably not going to be doing any paywalled content, at least out of the gate. But if there's stuff that you want us to do, let us know and we'll see if we can make it happen. And if you do, thank you. And if not, like, hey, we'll keep hanging out with us here.
Yeah. Sounds
Yay.
good.
Party.
Cool.
Great.